Hey everybody, Shane Presley here with Rock Paper Podcast. Let me tell you about my friends at Naked Vine, located at 1624 Clarkson Road in Chesterfield, Missouri, serving up the finest wine, whiskey, tequila, and local craft beers. And you can come by for some great live music on Thursday, September 19th. Phil Wright and Cree Ryder will be out there. And on Friday, September 20th, John Bonham and Friends return. And Saturday, September 21st, Shaky Deal, a tribute to Neil Young. So come on by for those shows. On October 8th, I return with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase. And we'll feature Doug Burkett of Odds Lane, Jeff Nations, and Aaron Joe Paddlefoot of The Dead Roses. Do not miss that show. 7 p.m. start, $10 at the door. You can find all this information and more at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, I want to tell you about my friends at Joseph Meyer Club. Check them out at josephmeyerclub.com today and try out their brand new foaming aftershave. It's a wonderful product. I use it myself. I love it, and I think you will too. You can try it today for 20% off using my code RPPJMC20 during checkout. Again, RPPJMC20. And you're going to love it. So, again, josephmeyerclub.com. And last but not least, I want to say thank you again to Heil Microphones for all their support. Check out heilsound.com. Really been helping make this show sound great, so big thanks to them. If you're in the market for some new gear, some new microphones, whatever it might be, check out Heil Sound today. And so thank you all for listening. Thanks for continuing to spread the good word about the show. If you would like, if you're interested in a hat or a shirt, or you just want to say hey, feel free to reach out to me on my email at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I would love to hear from you. So again, thank you everybody for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
What up? This is Cassandra Llea, a.k.a. your girl C. Lee, and you are listening to the Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today at Lotown Studio in Westport area with Cassandra Llea.
Yeah.
Hey.
What up?
Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I'm glad this worked out. Me and you go way back, which is it's fun that we're still friendly, and we're both doing this music stuff and things that all kind of, so cool. It's kind of crazy that it took this long for our paths to properly crossed as far as for entertainment wise and stuff, but like I said, we used to ride the bus together and
stuff. Yeah, we did for many years. Yep. Yes, we
grew up right next door to each other, and so it's kind of crazy. Like I said, like it does that. Fast forward 20-something years or whatever, we're still friends, and now we're both involved in this entertainment business now.
Lovely entertainment biz.
Yeah. But like I said, I kind of want to get more into what you're doing with your music and share some of your stories and all this fun stuff. So, but I guess let's get right into it. So you, obviously I know, but anybody listening, I know you grew up around the St. Louis area, spent a lot of time here, but as far as like music wise, I know you started in high school or middle school, I guess, started singing more.
Yeah. In middle school and high school, I don't know, I just started writing and singing more just because it felt good, as an expression. And at talent shows and stuff, I never did like cover songs or anything. I was always always doing my own thing and my own music. And yeah, in high school, I we even got a little project, which is hilarious to listen to now. But you know what? People liked it. And I remember, my friend Sammy Joe, you know Sam, right?
Oh, yeah.
He used to be out there selling my CDs with me. And yeah, so I started, I had heart back then for sure, but it worked. People still,
Sure.
That's when I started getting into all this. So.
And that's like the best, like, to have those people like Sam or, anybody, like those people that believe like right at the beginning and like, to have your back and like, push you and want to tell everybody about, what you're doing and stuff. Like, so yeah, that, I know from firsthand, like I've had people that are on board with this show right at the beginning and it's like, it feels good, like I said, it's just nice to have people that support that support system.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people, I mean, they don't, they'll go
Sure.
support stuff that's already hot or already popping. And then when your stuff is like, you should support your friends. If you don't like it, don't. I mean,
Sure.
whatever. It's art, Music is art, just expression. So if you like it, show it.
Sure.
Because a lot of times people don't realize that, oh, yeah, I dig it. Well, help, because it's being an independent artist we're in an industry that's way oversaturated. So
Right.
any type of support is fun. And then it makes it fun. It makes the journey fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you started writing your own songs then, and like was that just what? Like, do you feel like it was more like kind of like expression for just get like a diary kind of thing, just just get these ideas out?
Yeah, and it's still like that for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think music is. I mean, that's the coolest part about it. I do poetry as well. But that's just more for me. I don't do a lot of like releasing poetry, but songs and music are poetry. Whether it's you're about having a good time, like you're party music that's not taken seriously, or something that's more in depth about telling your stories. It's just music can speak to everybody. It's universal,
Sure.
no matter what's going on. So I think that's what the coolest part about it is. It is an expression, and people forget that because when it becomes about money, and everything's about money. Of course, you want to be successful, but the bottom line is, it's art. It's an expression. When we just anybody, any musician, any artist, no one drew or painted or wrote or sang or danced because I want to make a lot of money. They did it because it felt good.
Right.
And it was something that they could use as expression. So, yeah. So that's how I started, I get mad. I just write some stuff. I get, and then just mad, sad, happy, in love, heartbroken.
Sure.
Anything,
Yep.
It's like personal therapy, but everyone can relate to something.
Yeah. I think that's I feel like that's probably most of your, like, that's your heightened state of emotion. You're either heartbreak or your love songs. Like, I mean, there's probably more of those two than anything else. Like, it's just, there's definitely party songs and everything else,
Yeah.
but it's like, but I feel like that's probably your biggest inspiration for most people to write is like, cause you're either really hurts or you're feeling really good. And it's like, so,
Yeah.
but
Whether it's love or life.
right. Yeah.
It can be anything.
Yeah. So, what you said there was an early project that what was the name of that?
Well, I
Or
have, this is actually going to be my third project, but I had two projects that did decently well. I had one first called The Takeover that,
Was that the one you were talking about? It was funny to listen to now, like to.
no, that you're talking.
Yeah.
No, the one in high school, it was released, but it was never officially released. It was
Sure.
just sold out of the trunk of my car,
Right.
like it was before. Yeah, I'm not that old now, but it was before digital music was really. I mean, this is when CDs were still popping.
Sure.
So those were $5 out of the trunk of my car. And it was just a photo of me and my name on it, and I made copies, and me and my friend, my best friend, she probably hates me now. My best friend at the time, Trishelle, she was our neighbor too.
Oh, yeah.
We would take paper cutters, and me and her would just sit and cut the CDs and actually put in the work. So no, that I'm sure some people I grew up with have that album. I don't even think it had a name.
Right.
I know there was a song called Shape Up that all the girls were like, yeah. And just talking about, boy, I need a man, and here I am 15, not knowing what the heck I'm talking about. But yeah, so
that stuff, like I said, it's funny, like even with, again, not make this about me, but the show, like even when I go back and listen to like early recordings of this, like in the same kind of sense that you're talking about with your stuff, it's like, it's really difficult sometimes for me to go back and listen to where it started, because it's just, we're like, man, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a good time doing it at the time, but it's like,
we really believed in it.
Sure, yeah.
We were so serious.
But it is nice to have those, like to go back and look at like, hey, look, this is where it started, but like, look at the growth, like look how where we are now. It's like, so. Yeah,
each album's been like that.
Right.
Like, because you learn, and then you learn about yourself. Like I said, when my real first album that I consider was probably back in 2010, and I was learning so much about musicians and stuff around town, and I really got into like the Prince type vibe and the Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis type production. So we did a concept album that was more about funk, and it was fun. And then I don't know, it was my first well-rounded album, I would say, that actually told a story. I had a love song, I had a Save the World song, I had it was fun. It was a fun project. Mm-hmm. And then in 2013, I had a project I worked on for a while called Love to Hate Me, and I actually ended up getting able to tour that internationally, which was awesome. Yeah. So
you what do you have some memories of that, like some of the big cities you got to hit?
I did a major tour in China, so I actually hit 28 major cities in China, and then also the island of Macau and Hong Kong. So I did an entire, I was never in the same city for more than probably 2 days.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was I did all the big cities, I did the smaller cities, I did mall tours over there. It was a total culture shock, but it was cool because it's, it was fun to do your own music. And
the fact that your music's taking you around the world, that's wild.
Interesting. Yeah, learned a lot.
Yeah.
China is a whole nother world. Oh. Phone calls.
Sorry about that. I had the ringer on waiting for a phone call earlier. I forgot to turn it off. That was a drop in from Macho Man Randy Savage.
Right. That's on. What up, Randy?
So we got some. You have some music out there, some of the older stuff, like you're saying, but we do have currently a brand new single.
Yes.
That we March. What was that?
I released this at the end of May.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we have Jaded Love, now available digitally everywhere, and we have a brand new music video to go with that also. But let's talk about this track and let everybody know what you're up to right now. Okay.
Yes, Jaded Love, it's a collaboration with NWP. They actually just moved out West Coast now doing their thing. It's Anakin Swain and Lipe on the beats, there if they're listening. Yes. So we've been writing together for years, just as writers, just, doing submissions and placements. And so that's how it came about. I was like, I'm ready to do another album. And so that's how this track came about. So we released it. But yeah, it's entitled Jaded Love.
NWP. Black magic, back at it. Bad habit, got him straight, acting like a crack addict. Boy, be so nimble, so I let him take a stab at it. Little did he know I was never looking back at it. I ain't satisfied with taste, so good. I ain't saying it's a waste, but I'm good. Boy, I think you caught a case. Not here, now is the wrong place, wrong time, no space. Like tick, time's up, running out. Hanging up, I'm still suffocating label. Beat down everything, no longer am I able. Take it in, can't take it in. Nothing but tick, tick, time's up. Got the Jaded Love, tick, tick, time's up. Talking nothing but tick, tick, time's up. We got nothing but tick, tick, time's up. We got nothing but. Oops, I did it again. Made you think you could really depend. They'll victim the game, no love, just thrill. Some say Rolling Stone, where they that has my home. bad habit. 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, 4. Straight knocking on my front door. Thick thighs, booty with the itty bitty waist. They lining on up, trying to get a little taste like tick tick time's up, running out jaded. Hang it up, boxed in, suffocating label. Beat down, wearing things only in my able. Take it in, can't take it in, nothing but tick tick time's up. Got the jaded love, tick tick time's up. Talking nothing but tick tick time's up. We got nothing but tick tick time's up. Jaded love, you better let it go, let it go, let it go. It looks like another love TKO. Said I think you better let it go. It looks like another love TKO. Tick tick time's up. Tick tick time's up. Running out jaded. Hanging up, constant, suffocating label. Beat down, running in my able. Take it in, can't take it in, nothing but tick tick time's up. Got the jaded love, tick tick time's up. Talking nothing but tick tick time's up. We got nothing but tick tick time's up. Got the jaded love, got the jaded love, got the jaded love, jaded love.
It's just kind of like a little, I guess most people would say it's pop, but I think it's got like a hip hop rock type vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little everything for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you got like a little bit like that kind of rock guitar going in there. And then you kind of do some more hip hop style vocals through the verses. And then you got like the big pop sing along hook.
Yeah.
And so definitely a lot of elements going on. And I love it though. Like I really dig the hook, especially is like really catchy. You can't help but to start.
Tick,
Yeah,
time's
there you go.
up. Yeah.
You start singing along, you start grooving and dancing with it, and it's just fun. Like it's definitely got those pop elements and things. So
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Everyone's like, "Oh, I cannot get the tick tick times out of my head." I'm like, "Good, I'm glad." Jaded love, and everyone's been jaded before.
Yeah.
If you say you haven't, you're lying. So, but yeah, it's a fun song, and it kind of is just a teaser of what the whole project's going to be. Like how you say, oh, it's got all these elements. That's kind of what to expect for the album. I mean, the album, people keep asking, oh, what is it? What is it? And it's like, I've always sang. I've always rapped. I've always, loved rock. I like hip hop. I'll mix it together, but everyone wants to label you pop, but everything is pop now.
sure.
To me. I mean, of course, you got the indie and the stuff that's more like bubblegummy pop or whatever, but everything now, to me, anything kind of goes. We're in that day of music where, I mean, you can label it what you want, but it's like everything is crossing over everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, country music's pop now and everything.
Rap,
Like,
hip hop, and country, everything
it's
is
just a giant blender of music.
yeah,
and,
which is cool.
Yeah.
Why, who cares? Why not?
yeah, I agree. I mean, like I don't know. I feel like trying to put everything in a box in a certain genre is like it's silly. Like, if it's good music, it's good music. Whatever if it makes you move, whatever it is. So it's
Exactly.
like, but yeah, I don't know why everybody wants to label everything in a certain sense. But,
That's the world.
yeah.
They want to
Right.
label everything,
Yeah.
not just music, as the world,
Sure.
man. So.
Well, so we got Jaded Love getting out there everywhere. So
And definitely check out the video.
yeah, the videos.
That's by a videographer named Paul Sleet. And he actually that's his first official music video.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty cool to work with him, because it was just, and I worked a lot of videographers, and it's fun, but he was really into it. So we just had fun with it. We literally did that video in a couple hours,
Sure.
just walking around having fun.
Yeah, it looks great. You can find it on the YouTube and Facebook and
Yes.
everything. So check that out. And I did notice when I was the guys you mentioned, also some of the guys you've been writing with and things. I did notice another video called My Rules, and that's like with all of you, and like that one's over something like 1.7 million views.
Yeah, that's a song called My Rules. I just I'm featured on it.
Yeah.
And I was one of the writers on that song. But yeah, that was their first. Well, not their first single. The first single was 1,000 likes. And then the second one was My Rules, and we were in the studio vibing like we always did, just in a writing session, and they pull it up, playing me the song, and I was like, oh man, and just started rapping that verse that I do on there just for fun.
Sure.
And they're like, oh yeah. So that's how that happened. That was just a quick like vibe that I wouldn't even, it was kind of an accident.
Okay.
And it ended up
Right
being
place
cool.
at right time, huh?
Yeah, well, we always,
sure.
That's how we write together
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's how that ended up happening. And a lot of songs happen like that. And there's more on the album that they did with me as well. So.
But as like I said, to see a video with over 1 million views already.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy. They it really took off that was last year, and it really took off. It was really cool. It was cool.
yeah,
It was fun.
nice. You so like I said, you are Jaded Love is kind of a sneak peek of what you're up to and what we're working on, and we're hoping for a release sometime soon, maybe late this year, maybe early 2020.
Yeah, I'll probably have I actually will probably have another single come out definitely before the end of the year. The album, I was going to release it in the fall, but I am still working out some things. So I'm not, and there's no need to rush it. So probably look for the full album in 2020.
Yeah.
But I will have another single for everyone soon, actually.
All right.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun. I mean, like I said, and then hopefully continue the success. I know Jaded Love also, not to make it all about numbers, but I just think it's great to see that people are responding in the way they are. But that YouTube link already has over 17,000 views, and which is really great. It
was really cool to see that because this was my first. I haven't stopped writing, but between project, this is my first project since I did do a short project called Night Rider with a guy named Calvin Katie Dobbins, who some of you might know in the blues scene, but he produced it with me, and that's cool. You could check that out too. But I haven't done any music for myself and actually put it out there since that song, and that was back in 2014. So it was really cool to see the first song I put out, because I'm like, oh God, it's been so long, and I used to have a really cool following, and I've been rocking with mugs, dirty mugs. I know all the people come out to see us, which is awesome. So a lot of them were like, oh, are you going to release music again? And I just kind of was like, yeah. But I ended up just kind of doing more just writing and getting into fitness stuff and performing with dirty mugs and writing for other artists. Sure. And I don't know. I just kind of like, I don't know. And so it was cool. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. But I do that a lot. It was cool to see the response to that song, because I didn't really know what to expect. It's like, here I am. I'm just going to release the song. I'm excited to put out this project because it's been so long. It feels good to put out some music for people. And it was awesome to see that, and it's really cool. I'm really happy with that.
Definitely.
I can't wait to start performing out again more with the original stuff. Mm-hmm. So,
you mentioned writing for people and stuff, and I kind of want to get into that, because I think it's a really unique thing, to in a business sense, because I heard. Chris Stapleton a while back on Stern Show, and which is he's kind of made a big splash in recent years as a performer now. I mean, he's doing really really well for himself, but for years he wrote songs and they have many number one songs on the radio, on country radio, from all the Luke Bryan and everything else, or whatever. All of them were either written or co-written by Chris, and it's but for a guy to get into that, he was they were asking him about it, and he goes, oh yeah, one day I learned that was a job, that you could just write songs, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then turns out he wrote all these huge number ones and everything. And it's people
would be surprised at how many artists don't write, which is fine.
Sure.
I mean, some people are better writers than they are performers. Some people have all these amazing songs, but it just doesn't have that thing, or some people don't want to perform their songs. There's amazing writers that have no desire.
Sure. Well, I feel like especially more in country music today, like you look at like some of those guys that are like whatever, like Brian and Blake Shelton and all these whatever, but those guys, like, and Blake's on The Voice now too and all that, so he does The Voice and then he tours, and it's like, so he's a business, he doesn't have time to like actually sit and really write, because he's either he's on the show or on the tour or doing whatever, working all the time, and then it goes in and cuts a new record once a year, and it picks the 12 best songs he can find, and it's like, and goes out and does it, repeats it over again and stuff, but so there's that. But like, I definitely respond to the people that write their own stuff more. Like, it's just always been something. I mean, like, even with Chris, and there's another guy like a lot, like Dallas Davidson, he's a writer, and like he actually cut a record of like him singing all those songs, even though you've probably heard him on the radio with everybody else singing them. And like, I always love his versions way more. And it's like, it's got the heart, it's got the feeling.
Yeah, you usually can relate to it. Right. It's relatable, and you could probably feel that because he's feeling it. Sure.
But it is a unique thing to be able to like just write for somebody else, write for another artist and things. And so anyway, I kind of wanted to get your perspective on it, like as somebody that's actually done it and doing it and stuff. Like, how's that like work for you? Like, do you get to actually go like as a sales pitch, like, here's this song, or how's that?
Well, I've done it in a few types of ways. It actually was an accident, because I always wrote for myself, just not even thinking about it, and then when I started doing some jingle work and stuff, and just voiceover stuff, which is, they pay you just like a studio musician, you go in and do the thing and you get paid hourly.
Sure.
But I just had my first person that I actually wrote for was this young hip hop guy, and he was like, oh man, and it was so funny that it's a guy in a hip hop, because I thought he was an amazing rapper, but he wanted me to write some hooks for him to do on his own. So I started doing that, and then some people paid me to write hooks and sing them. So I started doing that, and that started going. I was like, okay, cool. And then I got with a couple other producers and stuff that I was working on music with for myself, and they're like, hey, we submit songs, and they submit to where some people get distribution deals and to labels and different stuff. So they submit X amount of songs and get X amount of placements per quarter. And that's how kind of like the business side works. And I was like, sure, why not? And so the way we personally did it at first was more just free for all. Like, let's submit these songs and we'll do a pop song. So we do like, this song is the music because I don't write the music. Right. I write lyrics, melody, arrangements, things like that. So music, I can play like basic keys, but nothing to like arrange and do. I would never do that. And I can play like flute, but I don't really use that all that much.
Right.
So I basically do lyrics, melody, things like that. But so they gave me the music, and we'd vibe, or they'd have a verse and come up, and we just kind of vibe off each other and come up with this, and be like, oh, this is a pop anthem. Okay, this is a hip hop song. Okay, this is going to be like more of like rock. This is going to be country. This is, or sometimes people come to you. It kind of just varies on what the job is or who. And sometimes people come to you and it's, it's a girl who's 20 and you kind of listen to her voice. And I personally, whenever I work with actually someone who wants me to write for them, I usually write more with them, I would say.
Sure.
Because if you have artists there, just like any producer or any good producer, in my opinion, gets to bring out what an artist already has, not change them. Because a lot of people try to mold, and I don't like that. Because like you were saying, you like to relate to people.
Right.
I personally think people can see through it if it's molded, if it's not you. So personally, if someone's looking to do a project and wanting you to work with someone to help them get songs or write with them, I kind of like to hear their voice, see kind of stuff they've already done, what they like to do, things like that. And then, just kind of how we're sitting and talking, like hang out in the studio, pull up some music and, just get their personality and then try to bring out the best of what they have. And then, okay, I got this song idea. This is kind of what I think for delivering it, and work with them to bring it out.
Right.
That's how I personally like to do it.
Yeah. Did you ever think that when you started doing all the music and stuff that that hip hop would be as much of a part of it?
No, not at all. Growing up in our era, like that's when hip hop really took.
Sure.
Like, I mean, especially with the county, we grew up in Winsville, like so it really took. So of course we grew up with rap and hip hop and all that stuff and just loving it and Ludacris and all that. We thought we were gangsters, knowing we were not. But no, I never did. I always liked all types of music, even growing up, from blues to hip hop to jazz to rock to pop. That's just how I just like all types,
right,
from all generations. But hip hop really, I used to just, when I'd write, I always did a little rapping and singing. I used to sing, and then I started just doing a little what they call like pop rap and like that Fergie stuff. And then actually I will say Dirty Mugs. They heard a couple things that I did, and they I don't know if anyone's heard Dirty Mugs. It's a cover band. We cover lots of stuff from like 90s hip hop to pop to dance to R&B to whatever, but they were looking for more of a rapper singer. They wanted you to be able to rap and sing. And so honestly, I started getting more into it and better at it. And once I started performing with them,
right,
because, being in cover bands, you have to learn a lot of songs all the time, every week, depending on your gigs and your job. And it's fun. But in a way, you kind of learn stuff, because when you're learning those throwback, real, true hip hop songs and stuff, it's skills. You're practicing your craft, man, without even, you're learning. You're listening to great people and stuff that I've already on. So I think that's how I've gotten better, is just by doing it more. But no, rap is just something I always just kind of dabbled in my original music. Like, I just felt like, I've been doing that forever. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always did, just naturally. I always sang a little bit, always rapped a little bit, but no, I didn't realize that people would take to it like they have. To be honest, I think it's just something fun I was doing.
Sure.
And I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it would be fun to have a career like Nate Dogg. I think like.
I'm nothing like them.
Right.
I wish.
But I just feel like he like had the best. Like, I mean, I love it, all of his stuff. Like, I'm a huge fan. But like the fact that like the guy was like on like everybody's records, had like a hook on everyone's all these songs.
He had that voice, man.
Yeah, and
he had that tone. It's all about the tone.
Yeah. So it's like, if I could pick one guy to, if I a career I could take, like that would be pretty,
you would want to be Nate
yeah.
Dogg. That's a pretty cool career.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
I don't want to be the main guy. I don't need to be the star of the show, but if I could just, be that guy that's like hangs with everybody and has a, like a set of feature on everybody's records and stuff, that would be pretty cool.
That would be.
Yeah, that's my goal. If I could be the next Nate Dogg, that'd be all right with me.
Maybe, you know what? We still got room on the album. Maybe we'll have to do maybe, you know what? We might have to do it.
All right.
That'd be dope.
I'm available. Just let me know when
you can go by Shane, or you can come up with a.
I always used to joke that my rap name was going to be Insane Shane.
Insane Shane.
Or something like that. Like,
right.
So I'm still working on that, okay? It's, don't judge me too much.
I'm not judging. I don't judge.
But I agree. I'm like you're saying, the hip hop's always been there for me too. For many years, I've told the story on here, but my cousin Jeffrey, I can recall cruising in his car when he had his license and was driving us around, and I remember listening to like Eazy-E. I remember that was my first introduction to.
That's real hip hop, though.
Yeah, that's going way back. But of course, like you said, all that stuff. I remember. I used to, I was a clear memory also, it was ones I started driving, and I had my 88 Crown Vic station wagon.
Oh, yes, the wagon. I remember the wagon.
Yep.
What was the name of that?
I don't know, people call it shaggin'
The
wagon.
shaggin' wagon. You had something. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that because everybody
Oh,
used
yeah.
to love talk about the wagon.
Nope, yeah, everybody knew that car. Unfortunately, that's when you drive a car like that, you can't really do a lot of stupid stuff because everybody knows exactly.
Everybody knows it's Shane.
Yeah, right.
Shane and his shaggin' wagon.
So, but I also fully embraced it by adding even more ridiculousness to it. I had like a plastic rat duct taped to the hood ornament and all this stuff. But anyway, I used to roll down that back window and I used to crank up. There was like this bluegrass version by the Gourds of Gin and Juice from Snoop Dogg.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
I used to crank that up and like go to school every morning with that, like sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind and my money and my money and my mind.
There you go.
So, anyway, but even though that's bluegrassy, but it's still hip hop roots. Obviously, I was Uncle Snoop Dogg.
Still out there. He just
yeah.
released another album.
Oh yeah, that guy's he's well, that's what's again, obviously he's all about hip hop, but he's redone himself many times. That he did a reggae project for a while and stuff. Like he's done a little bit of everything. He
Reinvents.
Yeah.
That's what you notice. All the greatest artists. If you look at any artist, it does not matter what genre of music it is.
Yeah.
Any artist with longevity and someone who is really, really good at what they do, they always reinvent themselves each album.
Yep.
I think. I mean.
Oh yeah.
And you have to evolve. You have to evolve with your audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's done it from the hardest gangster rap stuff to singing with Katy Perry and whatever. It's like he's done it all. Like so, and then hanging with Martha Stewart and everything. So he, but yeah, Snoop's the coolest. I guess if I had to pick second career, if I could be Snoop Dogg,
that'd be a pretty fun career.
That'd be a pretty good career too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did just see a video like he somebody like meme kind of thing and he Snoop lights a joint or something and hands it over and there's like a security officer guy there and he's like and he kind of like looks like shake his head no and he's like, oh, if Snoop Dogg's gonna hand you a joint, I guess I'll go ahead and smoke it or something like. So it made me laugh. Like it was just very silly. Like, but it's like even if you don't like, if Snoop Dogg does it, then you probably will with him. So, but I don't do that stuff. That's not me. But I just think I just laugh at it. But I guess we should. I want to get into some other stuff with you too. Like this is. I know you've obviously put a lot of work in the gym and things
yes.
in your fitness, as even anybody that follows you on Instagram too, they obviously are well aware that even your handles, has fitness in there and stuff. So Rocker
Chicks Fit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So obviously it's been a big part of your life as much as music also. Mm-hmm. And but I kind of want to get like when did this really like start for you? Like wanted to dive into fitness.
Well, when I was, when I was younger, I had to get into health and fitness early on just because I was really, really overweight most of my life. So I just personally, once I was about 18, 19, I just, the business was cruel and then I was unhappy with myself. And so I just decided, you know what, I'm done. And so I lost like 60 pounds and that's when I made it like a lifestyle just to be healthier,
Sure.
I got into actual competing, like bodybuilding, back in 2015. Yeah, 15 is when I really started getting into like weightlifting and stuff, and I really liked it. And then I was like, I'll just do a competition for fun and just as a challenge, and it's definitely a challenge. And then I just really liked it. And so for the past 3 years, I've been doing competitions every year, which is like the extreme, which is great. I just like everything about it. Even when I'm not competing, I make it part of my thing. I like working out. I like going to the gym. I like lifting weights. I like running. I like all that kind of stuff. I'm way into it. Yeah. So, I did take a break from competing this year, so I could travel a little bit more, give my mind and body a break because it's to the extreme. when you're extreme dieting. It's not just being healthy. That's what you don't really get that until you do it. It's extreme dieting for weeks and weeks on end. And it's interesting what you learn, but you learn so much about yourself, mentally and physically. It's really cool. So I really enjoy it. And like we had mentioned earlier when we were talking, that Steve, he's all into it now, and Steve Ewing
Yeah, big
from
shout
the
out to
Urge.
Steve Ewing, yeah.
Yeah, I know he's always in good shape. But I think it's awesome. Like I really enjoy it. Even not competing, I like to go and do workout 4 or 5 days a week at least, and it's cool. I don't know. I like it. It's more something I do for me than anything.
Yeah. What kind of diet goes into like that? Like when you're talking about the extreme dieting part?
Bodybuilding?
Yeah. Well, what when you're actually gearing up for competition, like how extreme are you talking about?
Well, it depends. Everyone's different because like your body's different than my body. The girl next to me would be different. Everyone's different metabolisms, where they're starting from, everything is different. So your prep could be anywhere from 20 weeks to 16 weeks to 12.
Right.
Some people can get ready in 8. It just depends. But and when we say like, let's say you're going to do a 16 to 20 week prep, that's 4 months. Every day, you're not, no going out to eat. Everyone does it differently though. Yeah. That's the thing. That's kind of a hard question to answer because it really depends on your coach that you choose, which I do suggest if you're going to do it, get a coach and a good one. But it's all a science. So, our bodies are crazy smart. It will react, but it's time, it's consistency. So each week, you're trying to, basically bodybuilding is building muscle but leaning out. So the goal is not just to be skinny walking around. So it's a lot trickier than people think to actually obtain that much lean muscle mass and keep it when you're in deficit, because that's when you're talking a lot of, fasted cardio sessions. You work out 6 days a week, usually about twice a day. Me personally, like I said, everybody's different, but my personal journey on bodybuilding, when I'm into competing and stuff, it's literally usually fasted cardio, 5 to 6 days a week, depending on where my body's at, depending on what phase of the prep, because it's in phases. And then you go to the gym, and then your diet, extreme dieting is, a
lot of just chicken.
No, not just chicken and broccoli. No. Oh my gosh. No. A lot of carbs, a lot of, you have to have carbs to fuel your body, but, those decrease as time goes on. And like I said, it just depends. Basically me personally, it's a lot of like lean proteins, lean greens, and your carb sources are usually like jasmine rice, sweet potatoes, cream of rice, or oatmeal, and that's pretty much it. No real fruit. Sugars make you soft, so a lot towards the end your fruits are pretty much gone, but it just depends, because some people do keep that in. But for me personally, what my experience with it is it's even healthy foods sometimes get eliminated because it's a physique, it's about appearance, so it's not just about being healthy. And it's extreme. It's no going out to eat, none of that.
So what made you want to go from just being fit to actually competing? Like, where did that, was it just something you like, a dream kind of thing, or?
No, not really. Yeah. I had got back from touring, and I was very malnourished and very skinny. Very actually unhealthy at that point. And I came back and I was like, because it's just from exhaustion and being in another country for so long. It was just, it was sickly skinny because China was interesting with the food. But I basically got back into the gym, and it was kind of an opposite thing. It was from what I'm used to being. I'm used to being in there trying to lose weight and build, to get fit and stay at a decent weight. But when I had come back, I was actually opposite, where I needed to kind of build strength. Sure. And so I got with a a trainer, and all this gym I was at had a lot of bodybuilders in it. And they were just loving it. The drive they had, and like the that's really what got me into it. And so I started training with them just to train with them, not to compete. So I saw it, and you'd see what all goes into it. You're like, man, but it just inspires you to be like, wow, like that takes so much discipline. And I don't know. I just wanted to. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I want to see how far I can take my body. To see how in shape I can get. How much discipline can I? And I did it. And then when I did it, I'm kind of a competitive person. So then I was like, all right, now that I know what it's about, I was like, man. And then I did it for a couple years in a row, and I'll probably do more. I just need to give my body a break from that. And then plus, like I said, with the extreme, you can't go travel and do stuff. So this year I took off to travel and stuff. But
right.
No, it wasn't a dream. It was just kind of an accident, and I just kind of got into it.
Sure.
And now it's just something that I really, really like. And I found it's just another passion of mine now. I love fitness.
Yeah. I think that's what Steve, I think he said something online about that, like how he's always been into it. I mean, he's always hit the gym, and obviously, but as far as competing, I think it had been a dream of his for several years, and so he finally just made the leap and did it, and started actually competing in these bodybuilding contests and things. And so that's crazy to, it's never too late to chase that dream, whatever.
Never too late.
Whatever it is.
That is so true. It's never too late. Like, people always, it's too late. That's the worst thinking, man.
Right.
Like, it's never too late. Says who? Who made these rules? Like, it is never too late to do anything, whether it's fitness, whether it's starting to, it does not matter. It's never too late. Like, that's the same thing with music. I used to set a timeline in my head and let all these industry rules get in there. Like, oh, you're getting too old to be putting out original projects. Oh, why? Right. Who says? Yeah. Like, no, there is no rules. Your rules are your own rules. It's kind of like, I don't know. Life is too short to be worried about if it's too late or that's just basically you're worried about what other people are thinking rather than what feels good or what's actually like elevating you as a person, or just, I don't know. Sure. That's how I feel about this. It's never too late.
Nope.
So if you're listening, it's never too late. Do it.
Get out there and do that.
Whatever it is.
Whatever you're thinking about it.
Yep. See, like you should be on an album.
There we go. I don't know. Like, I joke about it a lot. Like, I think I'm with you though with the going back to songwriting. I think that, like, I don't know if maybe my cutting. I don't think I had the voice to sing it, but I think it'd be I would enjoy writing a song, having somebody perform it. I think that would be something pretty cool to do. It's sort of a bucket list thing for me someday to sit and write. And my problem is I listen to so much music, so like when I do sit and like think about, okay, I'm going to write a song, and it's like, and then I just start writing everybody else's lyrics down because like it's all that's in my head is all these other songs, and it's like, so it's hard for me to kind of shut off that part and actually think of something, speak from the heart and something original that, my thoughts and things.
But all of us are influenced.
Sure.
If you listen to it, usually you can, even like the greatest artist you're listening to right now, if you think about it, like usually they study. They study people, and they like from way back, like even Lizzo, who's just blowing up right now.
Oh yeah.
If you really listen, she studied a lot of people from back in the day, and if you like, you can figure it out. Every great artist or every person that you like has definitely studied. I mean, I've studied people. Like, even I'm like, you have to, like, you grow up listening or watching somebody.
Yep.
Everybody's influenced by something. So that I wouldn't let stop you from writing, because obviously you can't copy directly and be like, I wrote this. Like, no, you didn't. But you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
like, that's why some things are familiar. Like, you're like, oh, where'd I hear that? Sometimes you do it without even realizing it.
Yeah. It is funny. Like, I've heard stories like that. People are like, you write something like, oh yeah, this is good, and then they're like, hey, what do you guys think of this? I'm like, hey man, that's like already been done. Like, that's this song and stuff. And they're like, but I guess like in subconsciously maybe they heard it or whatever, and then they didn't realize it or however it works out. But like, and then all of a sudden like, kind of I guess I was wasn't the first one to come up with that, but
No.
but that's the thing, like music, everything's kind of really been done now, so it's hard to really be like super original. It's hard to like come up with but something that, but it's like that's why you see so many people mashing things together, because it's
Get
like
their own eclectic
right,
sound going.
yeah, for sure. But I love it all. Like I said, that's something I do want to possibly get into someday, is writing, and I think it would be a fun challenge. So that's why I started this. That's why I started all these other things. During so like I just challenge myself, add another tool to the belt, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
But again, you can. We mentioned her Instagram. You can find Cassandra.
Rocket Chicks Fit.
You can find her there. You can find her on Facebook. Keep up with updates and things. Keep an eye out for that new single when that's ready to roll. And you can subscribe or follow on
YouTube,
YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music, wherever you're getting music.
Yeah,
today.
anywhere online. It's everywhere. It's under. You can search it under Cassandra Llea, which is LLEA, or C.Lee, which is C.LLEA.
Right.
So you can find me everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Tidal, Apple Music, iTunes. I think that's going away soon, though. Apparently, I don't really know what's up with that.
Well, I think it's Apple Music and Apple Podcasts now. I think it's all there. It's just not called iTunes anymore.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, but anywhere you get music, it's there. So you can definitely subscribe and follow. And then I do have my new website up, which is CassandraLea.com. And that's where I'll put all my latest stuff coming up and when I start doing some performances, things like that. So.
And again, you can find her all around St. Louis with Dirty Mugs.
Yep. We'll be rocking the nightclubs and festivals and
Is there a particular cover that you do that people are like, that people praise more than anything else?
It really depends on the phase. We always are flipping it up like constantly. It's me and another singer, Jay, and we sing and rap and do lots of different genres, but we're always flipping it up. And I think we always usually like to add in what's going on today. But I would say you're talking what people like more. Okay. What they respect, what they seem to like more. They love when you hit the Cardi B.
Yeah.
They used to love when we did Bitch Better Have My Money. That was kind of set the tone, the Rihanna.
Right.
They love when I hit anything like usually Cardi, Lizzo, Fugees.
There you go.
That aggressive. It's kind of cool because I think people like it because we usually take what's hot, do our own version. Like the band is it's a dope group of musicians. They just rock it out. So it's like rock hip hop.
Sure.
Like we take the Cardi B song and, it's more like a rock thing. People like when we do the Ludacris but I would say what gets the most response at this time and has for a while is Cardi B because she's been hot. And when we rock it, the band plays some really dope version and it just brings it. So it's a total different type of vibe than what you hear on the radio, which is cool. But I would say that would be it.
And that's got to be unique for a cover band too. The fact that you don't go to a bar very often and see somebody doing Cardi B. It takes a certain individual to be able to pull that off. And so.
Yeah, you can. It's a fun cover band to be. It's a fun thing to be part of. I've actually been with them now going on 5-6 years, and it's fun. It's just a really talented group of people to work with, honestly.
Right.
Because it's an eclectic group. Like if you see all of us walking down the street, we're not somebody that you would be like, oh yeah, they're in a band together. Like everyone's got their own like character and personality, but then you throw us together and it's like it just works.
Yep.
Like, and we just cover. It's a big melting pot of everything pretty much, which is why I think, which is amazing, the support we get. And thank you for that, by the way. But I think that's what keeps people coming out. we do throwbacks, and then we bring in the new stuff, and then we might do some rock, and the next thing you know, we're doing all hip hop. Then you'll see us, we'll do a country song.
Sure.
You know, it's kind of like, what is going on? But
that is, I feel like that's an interesting thing too about that. Like you're saying how you're always looking to bring in the new stuff too, and like and how like I've talked to other cover bands on the show about that, how like you'll spend a couple practices trying to get this song right, and then by that time you play it out, and then all of a sudden it's like, now nobody wants to hear that song anymore. It's played out on the radio so much or whatever. It's like, you know, just like, it's interesting how fast some of those songs come and go, you know. It's like, and then, but you let it sit for a couple weeks and then throw it back in there. Maybe then like, they're like, all right, now it's good again. And it's like, it's an interesting, trying to find the right combination of all that stuff all the time. Like,
yeah, you just got to kind of have fun with it. I mean, it's just like a DJ basically.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, so come party with Dirty Mugs, coming to a town near you, and yeah. So this has been great. I really appreciate you taking some time to do this.
No, thanks for having me, man. I'll have to, like I told you, I'll have to be back and perform some stuff.
Yeah, I would love that.
Off the album.
Yeah, so. I've been having a lot of fun doing a lot of the live acoustic stuff on the show, so it'd be great to come back and maybe debut some of this new material coming out. So so keep an eye out. We'll make that happen soon. So, but yeah, this is. I'm glad we made this work. Like I said, it's been a long time in the making since. Like I said, we've known each other probably 20-something years or whatever.
Oh, Lord.
Way too long.
What is what are you talking about? I'm only 20. No way have we known each other 20 years.
I've known you since birth.
But
it's I'm glad, like I said, I'm really happy to see your continued success and everything that you're going to do.
You too.
It's been great. So thank you, and bye everybody.
See you later.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Well, yeah, that was it.